Well, hello, collective. Before I begin, I'm just gonna light some Palo Santo to help clear the space. I'm setting the intention to clear the space both around myself and around you, wherever it is that you are watching this. My name is Esperanza. If this video has found you and you feel compelled to keep watching it, welcome. You must be a part of my collective. Confirmation. This is my first video that will be going on this channel. If it succeeds to have the message be put out. So if this has found you, this is for you. I'm newer to doing collective readings, so I'm trying to move through all the energy and receive the messages that are coming down to me. But I could feel them coming as I prepared for recording this. I've been getting this energy that feels like almost like dizzying with how intense it is. You might like actually experience on a physical level like dizzy spells or lightheadedness. But I'm getting this visual, this feeling of something that's been like a long time coming, something that, like, I'm picturing like a cord coming out of you that you've been following for a long time. And at first it started with like you not even fully realizing that you were following something, that something was drawing you in, but it was. And over time, like, I feel like you surrendered into this spiritual tie, this pull, and you've been laying down a lot of building blocks. Like, I'm thinking of like volcanoes erupting, where it's just like you're leveling out everything around you and starting fresh, and you're building back up. And I think that's what you've been working on for a long time now. And you're at this turning point with it, where it's like it feels like you're going to the next step of whatever it is that you've been working on. I've been kind of getting this energy in my own life of just like really intense mood swings, This message is timeless, but especially to those of you who are watching this around the time of the release of this, if you're in the northern hemisphere as well. But for me, it's springtime, and it's this idea of coming out of that kind of lower energy, that stillness of winter. Things are very quiet, maybe felt a bit heavy. And you're kind of pushing past this, like, kind of like heavy blanket of energy that kind of just like weighs on you like a weighted blanket in the winter time, and you're kind of pushing out of that. I'm like picturing like a body like buried under snow, and like you're digging your way out of it, and sometimes snow will kind of cave in from the top and land back on you, but you just keep working your way out. So there's like this feeling of like, you might feel really low one day and then really high the next, or even on a moment to moment basis, it just feels like there's a lot of changing energy, but like the overall feel of it is like persistence, like you are coming out of that, like you are seeing the sun through the pockets of snow that you've cleared out. So you may have just released something really, really massive, or you're on the verge of releasing something really massive. And your support, your guides, your whatever it is that you feel connected to, like they're all watching you and they're all surrounding you and sending you so much love and protection. You might be having a lot of throat chakra clearing, a lot of like to do with your voice. You may have felt like really tongue-tied for a little bit, and like now starting to feel like your ideas are starting to come up clear, or maybe you're not quite there yet, but it's this feeling of just a lot of release. So I'm gonna draw some tarot cards. I'm using the Light Seer Tarot deck. This is the deck that I've been currently feeling the most connected to. And it's funny because when I find like readings on YouTube or whatever, I've multiple times come across readers who are using like my deck specifically, and I think that's really interesting. I'm gonna pull some cards and see what messages we have. So the cards that I drew, I think I'm going to tell the story in the order that I kind of laid them out in front of me. So this is a card that's been kind of coming to me in readings lately, the King of Pentacles. Like I was saying about this journey you've been on, it's interesting the energy I'm getting right now. It's very dense, almost like it's hard for me to verbalize right now because the energy feels like there's like a block in like the third eye, but it's not even like necessarily like there's a block to information, though there may be information being withheld from you at this time. It's almost more of like sometimes we perceive the world through our thoughts, and other times we perceive it through like our senses. We exist deeper in our body, and it's like this feeling of like your body is driving you, which is interesting. The King of Pentacles, you know, it talks of like this mastery of resources, and I'm getting this feel of like you have been doing so much work, probably like focusing on your body, on your healing. You might be doing like somatic release, trauma release exercises, just a lot of things that take you out of your mind and put you into your body. And as a result, it's like the resources that you have been needing or trying to manifest or dreaming of or calling into your life are all kind of like floating towards you, and there's like these kind of like sparkles like floating around this large pentacle. And it's like this feeling that he's so at ease with his tongue by his side. It's like the time that you've been spending tending to your vessel has been creating the pathways for the things that you're trying to bring in to get to you. Next we have the Page of Swords, which the page is more in this like position of a student of learning. She's surrounded by birds. Birds could have significance, flying, the sky. You might spend a lot of time looking up at the sky or dreaming of flying or floating or whatever. Your ideas might literally be taking you afloat. But she's also walking across like this tightrope of sorts from one path to the other, but she looks like she's not even paying attention, you know? Like, and she's literally walking over this whole cliff, but she doesn't seem fearful. She's not even looking where she's going. She's reading this book, and it's like, you are so studious in all that you've been doing to learn more about this life, this healing process, and this path that you're on. And in your effort to study and to learn how to care for yourself and how to prepare and be more present, be more connected to your guides, to the earth, to that something deeper, to your ideas. It's like that carries you across from one point to the other with like this level of confidence. And it's like there should be more, like it seems like there should be more fear. Like if you were really to step back and look at what you're doing, you might think like, wow, maybe I should be actually terrified. maybe this should be so much scarier to me than it is. And that's not to say that you don't experience fear, but it's like that doesn't hold you back. And for all the fear that you might feel, it's probably quite small compared to what it could be, because you feel guided by all that you've learned, this knowledge that you've gained, and it balances you as you walk across. And I'm looking closer now at this picture, and it's actually, oh, okay, yeah, this page of swords, right? It's a sword that she's walking across. So you're taking this power that I'm hearing the word acclimated, and that doesn't quite fit what I was going for, but like kind of like you're acclimating to just like whatever environment you're in, whatever you're going through. It's like you acclimate so quickly to things. It's like you're just kind of like a boss at this stuff. You're just like, yeah, I'm learning. Yeah, I've still got a way to go, but like also like I know exactly what I'm doing, and I trust myself. And there's this confidence as you just like walk, balance across the sword, and you let that take you to this new horizon. And at this new horizon brings the Ace of Cups. And it's interesting because it feels like you're also kind of like a master of the cups of your emotions at this point. It feels like the Ace is the beginning, but it's like a new beginning, like signifying that you did something to reach a point of mastery. And that's not to say that you're at the height of mastering your emotions, if that's even a thing that is attainable. Like you reached a peak in your life where you became attuned with yourself, with your body, with your emotions, with your deeper levels of consciousness. And as that's carried you across to this next phase, now you're back at this new beginning, cultivating whatever comes next. And it's bright and it's vibrant and it's explosive. And you might be getting these bursts of creativity, of inspiration, of ideas. And it's like all of a sudden, like we talked about that King of Pentacles. It's like all of the things that you've been calling towards you, like the ideas on how to bring them into your physical world are coming to you now. And I did a reading yesterday for someone, and I got this visual that keeps coming to me. But it's this idea of like having like keys to get you through the doors that you want to go through. And sometimes it's like this feeling like you feel like that key is like right in front of you. Like if you just like looked up, it would be right there. But sometimes it's just like you feel like you just can't reach it, you can't find it, you can't see it. But really what's happening is it's like in my visual, it's like this key is created by this like three-dimensional like puzzle pieces. And as you go about your life, you're pulling in these pieces, and as you acquire more, then it all shapes together until you have this key. And it's like the way that time moves, because it's not linear. It's like, even though right now in this moment you don't have the key in your possession, like you, this bigger concept of you, has the key. And you're just going moment by moment by moment, accumulating these pieces to this key. And so right now, the phase that you're entering is this new phase where you're going to bring that all in. And I know it's like sometimes we get this feeling of like, we want it now, and we've been so patient, and we've put in so much work, and it could have been you've been working at this for years, lifetimes, a long time, and you may have recently hit a point where it was just like, felt like all too much. And it's just like, when do I get this? When do I get this thing? Like, I feel like I'm going to explode. I feel like I want to give up. Like, I feel like, why don't I have this? What am I doing wrong? And it's like, that's the discomfort that comes right before this phase of transition, where now it's like you're entering this new phase. You've worked past that, and now you're sliding back into this Ace of Cups energy, and that's when the inspiration is hitting you, and you're accumulating those pieces, and they're flying right at you, and you just need to be there to catch them. Which is why it's really important to be making sure that you're taking care of your nervous system, you're listening to your body and its cues, you're letting your emotions flow through you but not take hold of you. You're being kind to yourself and gentle. You're not blaming yourself for how long it might take, or for having a hard day, or for having negative thoughts. You're not blaming yourself for any of it. You're just witnessing it, experiencing it, living it. And the next card is the Strength card, which you're gonna need a lot of, and you've been having a lot of. She has an infinity symbol on her arm, and you might feel drawn a lot to that concept of infinity. And strength is the number 8, which, a vertical infinity symbol. I also think it's interesting that she's like, has like this duality of like person, lion, and then there's like the lamb here. But it's so gentle, like the lamb looks so relaxed. You think like, oh, there's a lamb and there's a lion. The lamb should be really scared, but it's not like that. I'm getting the sense of just like a lot of duality, a lot of different sides of yourself that you're coming to meet, and you might be meeting now versions of yourself that you haven't really gotten to experience, gotten to meet, feel what it's like to be in that version of yourself in quite some time. Like you might be working with like your inner child a lot, and maybe like your inner child got kind of locked away somewhere safe, but you're feeling like at a point where it's like you're starting to let that out again. And there's all these different versions of you. You might do IFS therapy, or that might be be something that, like, if you look it up, I don't even know what it is. That stands for Inter-Family Systems. I could be so wrong. IFS. If you look it up, it's a form of therapy, but you might even kind of be doing that or looking at yourself in that way without even realizing that that's the thing. I know that's how that happened to me. But you're pulling strength from all these different pieces of you, from the lamb, from the lion, and it just goes to show that strength comes in all these different forms. Sometimes it's the more obvious forms of what you think of when you think of strong, like a lion, but there's also a lot of strength in softness, in letting yourself be soft, letting yourself be vulnerable, be cared for. These are the tools that you have used to get you this far, and you're continuing to learn how to use. And yeah, so the next card is the Six of Cups, which again, card of the inner child. I think it's really cute. This card has like a little kid and a puppy and the adult the dog. And they're like following this path of the cups. Yeah, I'm getting like just this feeling of like, as you're diving into this new energy, which can be a lot, it can be really, really intense, these transition periods, these awakenings when you're entering a new stage, like harnessing that energy is a lot. It takes a lot of skill when there's so much being thrown at you to just like catch it and not have that send you off balance. And hey, it's okay if you get sent off balance, because like, of course, like it's so much, but by caring for yourself in these ways is what will help bring you to this equilibrium. And when you feel this level of safety, you can return to this childlike freeness that you had, and you may have even gotten a glimpse of before in more recent times of your healing. But it's coming out even stronger now. And I feel really deep peace in my body right now, especially like in my torso. It's like this lightness, this release, this playfulness, like a giddiness. And I'm thinking of that feeling that I had earlier where it was like kind of like silence up here, and I felt more in my body. And I think back to like being like a small child and the way that language doesn't dominate the way that we see just yet, because our language is still developing, and we see the world, we're so much more present, and we see the world through our experiences, through our senses, through our body, and the moves we make are so much more just by a whim, and you're not thinking through, you're not guessing, should I do this, should I do that, you're just going where your body takes you. And I think as you tap into this energy, when you're in states of play and relaxation and healing, because that's what you're focusing on, primarily, first and foremost, you're focusing on being safe with yourself, with your environment. And the safer you feel, the more that part of you can come through, and the more that part of you comes through, the more you realize, as intelligent as you might be and as much as you might be able to puzzle through and be in the Page of Swords mentality where you are so studious and able to solve your problems in this mental way. There's this even higher level of yourself that doesn't even need to think in terms of language, in terms of like having a thought and then bringing it down to the physical. There's this part of you that just in the physical just does what it is that you need to do. And it moves, like you move so fast, and it's like once you get into this flow state, it's like you're just taking off. And it can be hard at times because it's always that voice of anxiety, of worry, these voices that we have accumulated, this language that we've accumulated through our lifetime, these blips in our nervous system that we've taken on through our lifetime that will interrupt that flow state. But you just address those and you heal those and you let those fizzle out and dissipate. And the more you clear those blockages, the more you're able to flow for longer periods of time. And that's what you've been working on, that's what you've been building, whether you realized it at first or not. But right now, what you are walking into this level of flow that you have never experienced before, and it is, I want to say addictive, but it's not addictive. It's just right. Like, it's just this deep sense of like that's correct. Like, yes, that is what I should feel. I can't even put words to what it feels. It's just this, it's like yes. I'm sending that energy. I hope that is something that you receive and can feel what it is that I'm saying with this, but this is what you're harnessing right now. So with that, I think I'm going to close here. I would like to just take a moment to just deep breathe into all this energy that we've gone through and send up gratitude for the guidance that we've received in this moment. I hope that you've come out of this space feeling lighter and more centered in yourself and in your path and what you're here for. I know my body is like buzzing right now, and I just feel really deeply calm and relaxed. But I also feel like kind of my heart space, like this, like erratic, like there's a lot coming. There's a lot coming. Trust in it. Breathe with it. Check in with yourself. Remember that you've got this. Thank you for being here. Thank you for working with my energy and yours together, creating this space. you would like to work one-on-one with me, I will have information below in the description box on how we can arrange that if you feel called to do so. I think that is all I have